Hello my hungry friends! Today we're making sweet buns with pudding and crumble. Drożdżówki z budyniem I kruszonką. Hi friends, this is Anna and this is Polish Kitchen, and today I'm preparing my all-time favorite dessert or sweet buns with pudding and crumble. Absolutely delicious. Yeasted dough, sweet but not too sweet. We're gonna make it today and we're gonna indulge. I have my starter started already. It's been resting here for about 15 minutes. And I have half a cup of flour, half a cup of warm milk, a packet of sugar, a packet of yeast, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I just mixed it together and I set it in a warm spot of my kitchen, and it's nice and bubbly now. So we are ready to make our dough.
Yay!
So I'm using my stand-up mixer today because I like it. It does the job for me. Yeasted dough is one that likes to be kneaded a lot. It needs a lot of arm work. So this is where my hook comes in, and I love using it. So to make our dough, I'm gonna need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, which I have measured out here. I also have half a cup of milk, and it's good if all your ingredients are at room temperature. I also have 2 tablespoons of melted butter that has been melted and then cooled. So I'm adding that here, and I have 2 whole eggs. And everything goes in, and then I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It's gonna give us nice additional vanilla-y flavor. And I have granulated sugar. Mine is raw sugar, that's why it looks brown. You just use regular sugar. And this is 1/4 cup. And all of this is gonna get hooked onto my hook. I'm gonna just turn it onto stir, and all of that is gonna start mixing, and the hook is gonna start grabbing my dough and forming into a nice ball. Once your dough starts grabbing like this, I just like to get the little bits and bobs off the side and just let it continue. I'm gonna let this dough knead for 10 minutes. If you're not using a stand-up mixer, you're gonna take your dough out of your bowl, or you're gonna do all of this in your bowl by hand or with a spoon. And at this time, you're gonna take it out, flour your surface a little bit, and then put your dough out and start kneading with your hands. And you're also gonna have to go for about 10-15 minutes. We want the dough to be super smooth, all lumps gone, and that yeast worked into the dough. So let's get to kneading. Our dough's been mixing nicely for 10 minutes. I'm gonna take it off the hook now. I'm gonna show you how nice and smooth it is. And let's take it. And this is the consistency right here, nice and smooth. So get to kneading. And now we're gonna rest our dough for as long as we need to fill this bowl. So I have a nice trick that I always do with this yeasted dough. I turn my oven on to warm for like a couple of minutes, then turn it off, open the door, let some of the heat out, then I put it in with a nice clean towel, and I let it rest in kind of a warm environment like that until until it's done. It speeds up the process greatly. So we're gonna rest our dough, and in the meantime, we're gonna make our pudding that's gonna go on top of our buns, and we're gonna make our crumble. Okay, so first we're gonna prepare our pudding, and this is nothing special. I just bought a packaged pudding, and we're gonna need 2 cups. And just follow the instructions on the package of your pudding, just regular vanilla pudding, and cook it and then cool it. And mine's been cooked already here, and it's cooling. So once our dough is ready, we can just use this. So there it is. And here for our crumble, I have 2/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour and 1/3 of a cup of powdered sugar, and 4 tablespoons, which is about 60 grams of cold butter. Important to keep your butter cold so it kind of mixes in with the flour nicely. And I'm just giving this a kind of a rough dice. And then we're gonna go in with our hands and create a crumble. And if you've never made crumble before, it's super easy. You just put these 3 ingredients together in a bowl, and you kind of squeeze the butter to incorporate with your flour and sugar, powdered sugar mixture, and it's gonna start forming little buds first. I've seen people do this in a food processor as well, and obviously you can do that as well. I just thought I'd get my hands dirty a little bit. It is baking after all, isn't it? So sweet buns, if you have watched our channel before, you will know that I love sweet buns. And after we've moved here to Poland 2 years ago, almost 3, I remembered how much I love sweet buns, and accessibility to wonderful, beautiful bakeries here is to my disadvantage now, because I can eat them every day, and there's such a nice variety. You can get these pudding ones, and my favorite one is the poppy seed filling, and you can get cheese buns, and they're just wonderful yeasted sweetbreads. And the trick is to them not to make them super sweet. So if you eat a whole bun, you don't feel like you've had a whole bunch of sweet sugar, even though it's just carbs and sugar. So I had to, when we lived in America, I had to make these at home to get kind of a taste of home, and I've perfected the dough and perfected the crumble. I actually made the crumble a lot when I was a kid with my brother. We would make crumble as our treat when we left home alone. I don't know why. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but my crumble is starting to kind of make this sticky, almost like dough, but it's not going to form a dough. But this is our crumble. And now we're going to have to wait for our dough to rise, and then we'll top our delicious sweet buns with sweet crumble before baking. Dough's been rising for a little while, and it has filled my bowl and looks nice and fluffy. Now onto our next step is to remove the dough and form it into our little gorgeous buns. I'm gonna attempt making 12 out of this. That way they're not super big. They're kind of one serving size. I can smell the nice yeast smell on my dough for sure. Oh, I forgot to flour this. Flour your surface before you put sticky dough on it. So let's see. I'm just rolling it gently. I'm gonna do half of this, and then into half, into half, and into half, kind of to make them somewhat even. So they bake relatively evenly. How many? 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, that's a lot more. my math is all wrong. Okay, so I can combine these corner pieces because they're a little bit smaller. And then I'm just forming them into little balls like this. And then I'm going to flatten them because we have to fit our pudding on here yet. And I prefer them this kind of smaller size a little bit. And I'm just kind of pinching the edges and folding them under just to stretch the dough a little bit. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I guess we're doing 15. Because I fail at math today. They're so cute. Don't you think?
Yeah, just like the lady making them.
Aww.
Yeah.
Now this bun goes in. Make sure you can see, or you have a little indent here where our pudding is gonna go. So I'm just flattening the middles of these delicious things. And next I'm going to, I have egg wash here, just 1 egg with a tiny bit of water, well, not tiny bit, probably about half of a tablespoon. Just wiggled in here. I'm just gonna brush onto my buns, and it's gonna make them look all nice and golden brown when they're baking. Now these will have to rest. Did I say that already? These will have to rest for another 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes. So they fill up my pan a little bit, and they're gonna be a little bit more fluffy and airy on the inside. So remember, when you're making yeasted dough like this, you have to let your dough rest first time, or the yeast when yeast is proofing, then second time when you're rising the dough, and the third time when once your product or whatever your baked item is, it has to rest again. So next step is our pudding. My pudding is completely cool now, which is nice. And I'm just gonna spoon some right into my little divots. And this one came out a little runnier than I like it. Not sure why. I think I'm trying a new brand and I don't remember it being this runny. But it should be okay. The oven will dry it a little bit yet, so I think we'll be fine. Probably won't even need as much. I mean, I may have added too much water or something. Made it a little watery. My maths are wrong today, so who knows.
Who needs maths when you're baking?
Yeah, right? Because it's normally 2 cups, but I have a lot more left than. There we go. And then, last but not least, this has been sitting in the fridge, so it's a little stiff. And by this, I mean our crumble. And our crumble will go right on top. And I like to go heavy on my crumble. You will not find this much crumble at your bakery. This is only homemade. And I love crumble, so I'm going heavy. All right. And buns done this way will just rest here on my counter. I'm gonna cover them gently with a towel, and they will rest here for about 15, 20, 30 minutes. I think with sun coming in here now, we're gonna have a warm spot. So just let them puff up a little bit, maybe by 1/3 or by half. We'll fill up our space a little bit, and then we'll bake them. Buns are ready for the oven. We'll put them in at 350 Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius, and we'll monitor, I'm thinking about 10, 12 minutes. Look at these gorgeous buns. They've baked for 11 and a half minutes.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. They baked for 12 minutes. And look at this. Does not get any more perfect than this. Yum. And let me say, it seemed like there's a lot of crumble, but it kind of evened out, and it's not sweet. Oh, it's definitely not too sweet. Oh, the buns aren't too sweet. The pudding had solidified a little bit more. I think they're perfect. They're not too sweet. And put a bit of butter on there and even some jelly. And enjoy them as Sunday brunch or just dessert or whatever you want. If you show this to your children, they will eat the whole pan in one sitting. I hope you try these and come back and see us again when we're out and about. Kitchen's Closed is about to be open again. We haven't done many episodes recently because of stupid COVID and everything was closed. But everything's opened up again and we're right into the summer, so we're excited to start traveling again and showing you how gorgeous Poland is outside Szczecin and show you more of our culture and our food. Head over to Polish Kitchen for the recipe. I'm posting a link right below this video. You can also browse around my website for more recipes. Click on the up hand if you like this video, subscribe and help us grow our channel. And head over to Instagram if you're on Instagram and you follow on Instagram. Follow our page and be with us as much as possible. We'll see you next time. Smacznego!